Yeah, what's up, y'all? Blogs every day. We're gonna change the format of how we do these things so that it might actually be blogs every day instead of just blogs every once in a while or blogs whenever I have something to talk about. So the new format for blogs every day will be, I will come in here in the studio at some point. I will roll a little wood or a joint if these things start killing me. If it's early in the morning like now, I'll have a cup of coffee. I'm gonna light up, put this back, and then just kind of talk about what's on my mind today. Instead of having to be general about specific topics, I'll just go off top about how I'm feeling today. And then that way, it'll have to be blogs every day. Big things on my mind today. Big things on my mind this whole week have been, I'm sure you guys have seen, and we talked about this before, about YouTube changing the monetization. What we had said, what we were anticipating was, because the ad revenue had dropped off because these big advertisers had pulled their money because they wanted to make sure that their products weren't going to be advertised with shit that they didn't align their company's core values with or whatever, you know. So YouTube rolled out their solution to this problem, which was yellow monetization. So if you got a green monetization symbol on your video, then that means that it's regular monetization. They'll throw regular ads on it. If it has a yellow symbol, that means that it is not suitable for regular advertising, and that it would be limited advertising or no advertising at all. So I don't know what that means. I just go with the no on that side. I'm not going to assume that it's just going to be less. I'm going to assume that there's not going to be any advertising at all on those videos. So, what kind of videos? Well, unfortunately, it looks like YouTube has blanket restricted or yellow monetized every battle rap video on the internet. All of them. Oh, that'd be right here. So every battle on my channel is yellow. I imagine that goes the same for King of the Dot, Don't Flop, you know, URL, everybody. Their content is pretty much the same as far as, like, if it's they're not isolating individual battles, basically, you know. So if you're like A-Ward versus Loso, you're gonna have to go in there and say, hey, can we manually review this? And then it'd be interesting. I'd be really interested to see if they decide that it would be worth reviewing, or if they reviewed it and then they were like, oh, this is good. That would be a good experiment. Because see, if they like don't, if they decide after manual review that your Christian rap battle isn't suitable for the internet, then what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I knew that there would be not a lot of YouTube revenue coming in from this last event that we did, and then that was like, you know, those checks had already dropped off consistently. But I did think, I was like, oh, you know, we put out some good battles, then they'll come back up to maybe like a normal status. But so it is a kick in the dick, you know, that there will be no back-end revenue from YouTube when it comes to Battle of the Z8, which was, it wasn't expensive for me, you know what I mean? But we executed, and we didn't put ourselves in a dire position because we weren't counting on that YouTube revenue, you know what I mean? It just would have been something to help us build later. All of this stresses the importance of Patreon first and foremost. I mean, the reality is that we've been able to do more with Patreon than we were doing with YouTube. And I'm a small channel, so I know that that's a lot. There's no way that like the bigger battle leagues are going to be able to remedy their situation with Patreon. I don't know, maybe they can. It's a late start, you know. It's unfortunate that this thing just happened to us and we didn't have some foresight, because I think that we would be able to adjust accordingly, or at least semi-prepare. I don't know. But yeah, Patreon is a big deal, and Super Chat too, because now that these videos aren't being monetized, when we do live episodes of the Dirtbag Dan Show, fans have an opportunity to just donate 5, 10, 20, whatever, fucking, and we go nuts when people donate money on the show. Hey, we acknowledge the fuck out of that. So that, I mean, realistically, we probably got more money from Super Chat on the last episode of the podcast than we would have got from any kind of monetization for months. But you used to be able to monetize those too. Actually, it's weird because some of the episodes of the podcast on the channel are not restricted at all. Some of the episodes are. I don't know how they make the distinction. Concentrate, which is the music video I have on my channel that has 550 some odd thousand views. It's good. Thank God. So I'll still get money for that one. But Slab City, which is not, I mean, the content is the same. It's a different song, but it's about the same shit. Slab City is not suitable for monetization. So what? How does that? I don't understand that. Is that because Slab City only got like 75, 80,000 views, so YouTube never made any money off of it, really? So they're not tripping off of it? Or is it because Slab City's newer, and Concentrate's old, and they've already collected $500,000 worth of ad revenue off of it? Whatever that is, fucking, you know, not a lot of money, but whatever. So they're like, all right, it's already been out there. It wasn't a problem before, you know. But I guess nothing was a problem before, so I don't know, man. It's interesting, and it's something that we'll be continuing to deal with. But like I said, you know, fan support, Patreon, Super Chat, VOD. We did great on the VOD for BOTZ8. You know, people are willing to pay for battles that they hear are good and that they could see from the trailers are quality. So I think, I mean, VOD and obviously pay-per-view. We're not really there yet as far as like being comfortable to conduct a pay-per-view, you know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty young league, so I'd like to get there at some point. But for right now, like, VOD is a great option for us, and we will VOD all of our battles. I mean, that doesn't mean you'll have to pay to see our battles. You can wait and they'll drop on YouTube, but every event that we do, we'll have like some kind of VOD option for you to be able to watch all the battles the day after they happen, you know, and then they'll be on YouTube when they get on YouTube, you know. There's not, I don't know, it's weird. There's like, some shit could happen, right? Like, if another platform figured out a way for artists to monetize their content in a better way than YouTube, like for artists with questionable content to monetize their shit faster, you know, YouTube could go the way of MySpace. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's possible. This is this weird gap right now. Like, if I had to liken this situation to anything, I would liken it to, and on a much smaller scale, I don't know, maybe not much smaller, but on a smaller scale, I would liken it to when Napster killed the music industry, the record industry. Because basically you had a bunch of these YouTube creators who are making money and like making endless money. They put out a video in the, you know, 5 years ago, and they're still getting paid for that video. And you know, so this money's there, and then all of a sudden it's not, you know. All of a sudden your content's yellow, limited advertising. Oh, bump. Are you okay? Stabilize. So yeah, limited advertising, and you're not making money anymore. You're not getting any money anymore, you know? So like that, it's, you know, there's these tons of artists and record labels and people in the industry that were making money off selling CDs. The markup on a CD is incredible, from like what it took to produce the music to actual print the CDs, and then how much they sell them in stores. I remember they were at the peak of that shit. They were selling CDs for like $17.95. You know what I mean? Like fools are getting $15. There's a lot of meat on that bone for the artist, the label, just everybody to eat. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, now we got to share 99 cents from iTunes? That's fucked. Like, and that's what, it took a while to even get there. There was this weird gap of, you know, digital streaming and digital distribution of music becoming an actual thing. So like this is, you have a similar situation with this YouTube situation where it's like, I'm never going to get through this if it keeps going out. Where it's like, now that all these content creators that had a regular paycheck, now they don't have a regular paycheck, so they're gonna have to figure out a new way to make money. Guaranteed, that new way is not gonna be. It's gonna be splitting that 99 cents instead of, you know, there being a whole bunch of meat on the bone. So, but I think that if I was making any suggestions or had any advice for anybody who is, you know, currently a YouTuber looking to become a YouTuber, or someone, you know, who's way ahead of me and has a ton of subscribers and is in that fucked up position where now they're not getting paychecks anymore where they used to. Got to figure out a way to connect with those fans on the one-to-one and cater the content directly to the people who are willing to contribute to the art. You know what I mean? Because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like, you can't be a passive fan if you want shit that you care about that's on the fringe to hang around. You know what I mean? Like, anything that isn't doesn't have some kind of like corporate sponsorship or isn't big enough or have enough notoriety to, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Battle rap is niche market, right? So like, if battle rap fans who have been getting battle rap for the last decade and a half or whatever for free, if they all of a sudden decide that they're not gonna pay, or none of them are gonna, you know, make that contribute to the art beyond just clicking on a free video on YouTube and like letting an ad play in front of their face, then it's gonna be a lot less battles to watch. That's, I mean, that's it. That's all I can think of. We did the voting for the Caddy Royale. It's done. It started on the 1st of the month. It ended on the 18th. We ran it for 2 weeks. We ran it for... Actually, I don't think we started on the 1st. We started whenever we dropped the VOD. And it ran for 1 week with the VOD and then 1 week on YouTube. Let people vote. Only, like, less than 3,500 votes. Shit, the winner got $2,500. But I guess it's a 3-click process, right? Like, you have to, it's even more, right? Because what you have to do is, after you watch the battle, you either have to click the link in the subscription, or you have to type in botzbattles.com and then click vote and then vote. That's a lot of clicking. So, you know, it's no wonder to me that while the battle has, you know, near 20,000 views, that it only got 3,000 or so votes, because it's, you know, people don't make that extra thing, and YouTube doesn't have a good polling option on their videos. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted to limit it to 1 IP address per vote. We didn't want people to be able to continuously vote. You know, there's always people that fucking complain about it. Luckily, not a lot. We didn't have a lot of complaints. Frank Stacks won. I think people seen that he did a fair amount of campaigning, and it becomes a popularity contest when it's down to like you getting the votes. But the reality is, this is a battle. It's subjective. You know what I mean? And I will say this straight up: happiest I've ever been with a Rumble. I think everybody performed, and if anybody won the votes, ran away with it, I wouldn't have been mad. Not a single person, because I feel like everybody came and did what they do. You know what I mean? We had like, it wasn't like there was a shitty version of anybody in there. You know, it was real deal. Marv won, EK, Ilmac, Frank Stacks, and everybody delivered. So I was really happy with the way the Rumble went. You know what I mean? And I'm open to suggestions as far as better ways to do voting. We've been talking about this online, but I feel like having a third-party poll, like on a separate website, where everybody can watch the battle, they can go vote, and they can only vote one time per IP address. So even if you're like, you know, a crazy Frank Stacks fan, you got to find every computer that you can to log into. You can't just do it, you know, from your own computer every day or whatever like that, you know. So I'm open. Like I said, somebody said like 50 judges. Every time that we stop doing judges because it's entirely opinion based at that point. And we know that people feel different about the video sometimes than they do about the battle itself when it's live. So, you know, but then also, yeah, it's like maybe not, you don't agree with the opinions of random people online. You might be more comfortable with the opinion of someone who has like a concept of battle rap, you know what I mean? So, my baby girl. Hi, what are you doing, baby girl? You just miss me? Oh, cutie. But yeah, so like I really can't think off top of a better way to do the voting than that. But I'm open to suggestion. But I'd like it to be less, I don't know, opinion based. At the end of the day, if it's voting and it's a bunch of different people's opinion, then I feel like that's better than any one rapper's opinion, no matter how much context they have about the shit. What are you doing? You eating stuff off the table? About done with this thing. So yeah, blogs every day. This is how we're gonna do it now. I'll just sit down and I'll roll up a wood and then I'll just bullshit with you about whatever. And we'll try to do this shit every day because guess what? I think we could monetize these. Bah! Fuck you, YouTube. Yee!